Hi everyone, Liz here, thanks for stopping by. So today I'm going to do a kitting up and have a little bit of a chat with you while I do it. Okay, so we're going to be kitting up the little Shih Tzu picture that I opened up a while ago, and it's a nice colourful painting, and two reasons. I've got little Lottie, the Shih Tzu of my friend that's staying with us. She's on her holidays. And she's definitely on her holidays because we have trouble getting her up in the morning. She don't want to get out of bed, and she wants to go to bed early as well. But more of that later. And also I am doing this as a Christmas present for her mum. So I thought, ooh, we're getting on in November now. I better crack on and get this one started. So to start off with, I've photocopied the key code from down the side of the picture. I just stick it onto my scanner and then print it out. It's the easiest way to do it. And then I've run it through my Xyron sticker maker. So really, really handy these. I do like these because I can never read my writing. So having something that makes it nice and neat and all together just makes my life an awful lot easier. So that's that one. It did all come in the little grip seal bags, the little Ziploc bags, and I do quite often work from the bags, but I've got quite a few pictures on the go at the moment that I'm going to be doing projects all at once. I am still doing November. I've got a couple of those still left to do. So I'm going to put it into a storage container, into the bottles, rather than working from bags. Yeah, I think it's just going to be easier, particularly with it being 35 colours. If it's less than 30, I do mainly tend to work from the bags, but I'm not going to on this one. I'm going to kit it up. So let's get these stickers put onto these bottles, and then we'll get started putting them all away. I am using my 60 bottle container case rather, mainly because I mean that's going to take up a lot, although I might probably work from the bag on this one with it being so big. I can just put that into the netting at the top there. But yeah, I've got 30 containers, and I can't be bothered messing about with having 5 loose ones anywhere or whatever. So I'm just going to use the bigger one. I had thought about getting a 40 container, and it is still on my list. I think you can get a 40 or a 42, I'm not sure. But anyway, I may get one in the future because I do tend to do quite a few that have 35 colours. Anyway, let's get this one kitted up and let's get started. So I will start from, oops, you can't see that, can you? This corner. I am on a slightly different viewing angle at the moment for you. I've put my phone back into its like, well, it's supposed to be one of those snake type holders that you clamp onto the side and then it moves, but mine hasn't got any bend in it whatsoever. It's stretched within an inch of its life to reach the desk. So I'm sorry, we do seem to have quite a bit of shadow today. Yeah, it's been one of those days again, you know, it seems to be chaos reigns in the Harrison household these days. It starts, well, we were supposed to be having a guy come to service. My husband has one of those air cushions, you know, they're like electric and it hums and makes a noise, and it's the most peculiar thing. If you forget about it and sit on his chair by mistake, all of a sudden you can feel yourself sort of like going up at one side and you think, oh, what on earth's happening here? And then you suddenly go down again, and it's like really an odd sensation. Good if you've been sat for a long time though, keeps you safe. So yeah, it was a year since it was last serviced, so they've been to service that one for us today, so that was quite good. And it passed, of course, and it's nice to know that, you know, they are sort of, I'm putting these on absolutely awful, aren't I? You wouldn't expect anything else from me, would you? Right, yeah, so yeah, hubby's had his cushion serviced, and then at dinner time we get this call from Wheelchair Services, and it is saying to us, what did he say? Sorry, somebody's just come to the front door. Right, okay, I'm back. Yeah, Wheelchair Services. So we get this young chap rings up at dinner time and he says, can I just ask, has the demo wheelchair been delivered to you? And I thought, oh no, here we go again. If you've listened to any of my previous videos, you'll know we've had this ongoing saga with this wheelchair, and hubby's having to get measured up for a specialist one for his needs. And yeah, it's taken quite a bit of doing. Well, 2 years actually, 2 years to the day today since he came out of hospital from his first major stay. He was in for 7 months, and it was a long 7 months. Yeah, wasn't a pleasant time. We nearly lost him, and it was touch and go for quite a while. But anyway, 2 years later, he is still with us. We had a bit of a blip earlier on this year, but we're doing okay now. But yeah, we're still fighting about this wheelchair. Well, not fighting as such, just trying to get everybody organised, for goodness sake. If you remember, I'd said that the guy was coming, and the guy turned up, and there was no wheelchair for him to assess Paul in, because they'd not delivered the wheelchair. And we'd been ringing up saying, when are you delivering this wheelchair, because the guy's coming tomorrow? And they're like, well, you got it last week. And we, no, we didn't. So yeah, the wheelchair actually arrived an hour after the man had left, and that was 2 weeks ago. And yeah, we've had a few different things going on, not good, I tell you. Anyway, so he rang up and I said, yes, we've got the chair. It was delivered a fortnight ago. So the guy says, oh well, I'll get the man to come today. He's got a slot today rather than he was supposed to be coming on Wednesday. And I thought, gosh, the sooner the better, because if he rings up and cancels on Wednesday, I might just have to explode all over, and that would be really, really messy because there's a lot of me. And yeah, so he came this afternoon. So I was just about to get started doing my videos, and it was lovely and sunny and bright, and I wouldn't have needed any lights on, and the man turned up. But it's a good job done. I am really pleased we've got that job done. He's assessed hubby in the wheelchair. Hubby's had lots of tests with it. He's quite happy he can use it. He can move around in it. So hopefully, although the chap says it's not going to be before Christmas, we're probably looking at the end of January. But hopefully we are going to be getting a new wheelchair. Yay! And then we have to start all over again with getting it adapted so that I can get it in and out the car, because these electric wheelchairs weigh 12 stone. Yeah, that is a huge weight, so I ain't going to be lifting that. Anyway, let's start getting some of these put into these boxes, otherwise we will be here all day. So I'll start with number 4. So I hope everybody's doing okay. Oh, let me get a tray. Spilly Liz needs a tray underneath these. You know what I'm like. So yeah, it's look, I've spilt them. Oh, for goodness sake. That's first bag and I've spilt them already. Hey ho. It wouldn't be me, would it, if I didn't have a little spillage. Okay, let's just see if I can move these a bit so you can see what I'm doing. Look, we've got a couple of escapees here as well. Come on, let's get you back in. Let's start as we mean to go on and keep these little drills contained. Get in there, you little devil. I knew there was another one somewhere. There it is. Okay. So, yeah, it's been an eventful day, but I thought, right, I am going to get this video done because I want to get kitted up and I want to be able to get started on this canvas. I can get it done. I'm wondering if I can get it done before Lottie goes home. That would be quite nice. So yeah, little Lottie and Millie are getting on pretty well. There's sometimes a bit of a standoff over who gets on whose knee, but well, we can cope with that. 25. Wouldn't it be easy to just dig through the colours and find the colours, and then I know I've got them all. That might be easier. 7, 30s, 20s, 20s. Yeah, that might be easier. Do a little bit of work first, and then there's number 2. That's the teens. That's 20, 20, 20, because that one's 35. 18, that's the teens again. That's the teens. That's a lower number. Do you know how my brain works? You're probably all thinking, goodness me, how on earth do you ever get anything done? This doesn't look organised at all. But it is to me, and that's what counts. Yeah, I've got little Lottie sat underneath my chair at the moment, wondering who on earth I am talking to. So that's quite fun. I think she already thinks I'm crackers. She's just got the most adorable face. I mean, Millie just looks at me most of the time and ignores me, really. But yeah, Lottie, she's, with her having like a little small face and quite big eyes, when she looks up at you, the expressions are just hysterical. And she watches everything you do, and yeah, you just sort of like doing something and you just turn around and look at her, and there's this little face just peering at you, as if to say, what are you doing? I have no idea what you're doing. My mum would never do anything like that. But anyway, she's Millie and Lottie have known each other from Millie being a puppy. I think Millie was about 3 months old when she first met Lottie. If you want to watch to the end of the video, I'll put a couple of little clips of them playing when they were, well, when Millie was a puppy. Lottie's 11 now, she's an older lady, and it is quite funny. They bump chests and everything and run around like mad things. It's really quite sweet. But yeah, they've been friends for a long time. I think it's because Millie wasn't expecting her to stay so long. She likes her coming to visit, but I think she was hoping she'd have gone home by now. But we're doing okay. We have tea at opposite ends of the kitchen, which, you know, is working okay. They're both having exactly the same. Millie is on a special diet, so Lottie is on a pretty special diet at the moment. You know, I've sort of figured it round so they're both having the same thing, so I don't have to worry about, you know, dogs will sort of like start eating their own and then they'll cross halfway through. Neither of them are particularly greedy dogs, so it's not like they're going to fight over food. They just like to see what the other one's having, I think. They're not really that bothered. Lottie has one of her treats. Millie goes out in the morning for a walk with our neighbour. I daren't let Lottie go because obviously she's our responsibility. I know. I don't want somebody else having that responsibility, so she stays at home with us, and she has her treat stick that she has that Millie's not allowed to have. So we are quite organised. It's a bit surprising for us. Getting onto the bed on a night is quite fun. We suddenly have 2 hot water bottle dogs sleeping with us. Both snore, which is even more fun. And yeah, the noises that were coming out of them last night, because we went to the park yesterday. Oh my goodness me, we decided we'll go to the park, and as I say, my hubby's got the manual wheelchair at the moment, and the park that we go to actually is a beautiful place. I went there when I was a little girl because my grandma lived opposite, and Mum used to work full time. Oh, I've spilt a couple there. I can't remember what colour they were. My mum worked full time, so I used to go and stay at my grandma's in the school holidays. And of course, what else can you do when you live opposite a park but go out and play in the park? So I've got so many happy memories of the park across there. It's a really big park. It used to have little paddling pools and swings and slides, and it's got a great big lake in the middle with boats and a big bridge over it and everything. It's a great place. It did get run down a little bit at one bit, but they've done it up quite a bit. And when our kids were younger, we've taken them there and had a play, and they've got animals there as well, so you can go and see the animals. And now we take the grandchildren to go and have a look around and see it. So, you know, it's been good. We've had good happy memories from there. And yeah, we do take Millie there. We used to take our previous Scotty Maisie there as well, because it tends, mind you, it was busy yesterday. Gosh, I think we saw every dog under the sun there yesterday. So many different breeds. But yeah, it tends to be a bit quieter if you go during the week, so we can let Millie off her lead for a run. And there's a lot of squirrels, a real lot of squirrels, and it's just so funny watching Millie chase the squirrels, and of course they run up the trees, and Millie's like, where did it go, where did it go? And she's like, looking this way, looking that way, where's it gone, where's it gone? But yeah, so we went yesterday, and of course we've got 2 dogs, so that was quite a manoeuvre. I mean, we kept both of them on the leads because it wouldn't have been fair to let Millie off the lead and not let Lottie off. And she's looking at me now because she knows I've said her name. So, oh, these bags are really, really static, and I'm going to end up with them all stuck to me. Let me just move the first little batch out of the way. I'll pop them in there for now. Put them in the little netted bit at the top there. Get them out of the way. I could see them getting nearer and nearer to me, and I suddenly thought I'm going to end up with an arm full of plastic bags. Yeah, so yeah, it wouldn't have been fair to let Millie off the lead and not Lottie. So we were sort of like, I was pushing hubby one-handed, and he was holding one dog and I was holding the other, and then every now and again we had to swap over. And to be fair, we were stopping every 5 minutes anyway, because Millie has to say hello to every single dog that she sees. And as I say, there was a lot of dogs. There was, what did we see? We saw 2 deer hounds, we saw a greyhound, we saw a cockapoo, there was a Westie, there was, what was the real little tiny dog? I think it was a little puppy Shih Tzu. There was a golden retriever, there was like a border collie mix playing with a ball, so Millie wanted to play with the ball, of course. I said to the man, she won't play with her own ball. If I'd have brought a ball, she wouldn't play with it, but because the other dog was playing with it, she wanted it. But that's just either being a Scottie or being a woman. I'm not quite sure which. Probably a bit of both. So yeah, so that was some of the dogs that we saw, and then we went down this path and we thought, oh well, this path looks okay, and we're getting further and further along, and it's sort of like wound. Where's number 14 gone? What have I done with 14? 18, 14's there. Gosh, I thought I'd lost a colour then. Yeah, so we're winding around this path, and I remember it from a child. You used to go along this path, and it's like a bit of a secret garden. And there's a big pond at the end that used to have goldfish in it. Sadly, at the moment, it is just full of rubbish. People have thrown empty packets and cans and things in it, and there's no fish there anymore. It's a real shame. And I thought, well, it's been quite a dry day, so we should be okay. Nope. It got muddier and muddier the further we went along. And then we got to a dry bit, so I thought, oh, well, you know, we've got out of the mud. And then we came to some steps, and I'd forgotten that there were steps there. And they weren't too bad. So I said to hubby, what do you think? And he says, well, we don't really want to go back through all that mud, so let's go on the steps. I said, okay, we'll give it a go. So we carefully went down these steps, and he's leaning back so that he doesn't fall out, because heaven forbid he fell out. I mean, goodness me. I wouldn't be able to lift him. He is about 13 stone possibly. We're not really sure of his weight at the moment, because they'd have to weigh the wheelchair first and then weigh him. So yeah, anyway, that's a whole other story with the doctors. I tell you, life's just got so complicated, it's ridiculous. Oh dear, it's a good job we can laugh at it. We just seem to lurch from one catastrophe to the next. Anyway, so we get down these steps and we're thinking, yeah, we're doing okay here, this is all right. And then we come across some more steps, and these go upwards. And I'm like, oh heck. And some of these steps were like a good sort of 4 or 5 inches high, yeah. And I said, I don't think I'm going to be able to get you up these. And he said, oh dear, try doing it backwards. Well, the way that the manual wheelchair is, it has like these little stabiliser blocks at the back. and I couldn't lift the wheelchair high enough backwards to get these blocks over the step. So I said, well, we're going to have to go forward. I'm just going to have to use brute force to lift you. So he says, well, if I lean really forward in the chair, and I'm thinking, oh gosh, don't fall out, please don't fall out. Anyway, fortunately, this man and lady were sort of like, must have been watching us. I mean, they probably thought it was absolutely hysterical. They must have thought, what on earth are they doing? Why are they going that way? They're never going to get up there. Anyway, they came over to us, and the young girl says to me, do you need a hand? And I said, well, I could do really. I mean, she's got this great big strapping lad with her, and she's this little dot of a girl, and he stands back and lets her help me. So between us, we managed to get up to the top of these like steps, and then we saw in the distance that there were some more steps, or we could cut across the field. So we chose the cut across the field. Well, the dogs were covered in mud, I was covered in mud, the wheelchair was covered in mud. Oh, it was just, honestly. And we tried sort of like wiping it down when we got back to the car. We went for a walk up and down the pavements, the concrete pavements, to try and get some of the mud off. I was using sticks to try and poke it out from in between the wheels. Oh gosh, the mud was just everywhere. And in the end I said, I'll just put a cloth in the car, and I'll just, because I mean, I have to fold the wheelchair up, I have to get hubby out of the wheelchair, and then it sort of like folds up. So I'm even more covered in mud because I've had to pick up the muddy wheelchair to put into the back of the car. Oh dear me, if anybody could have seen us. I mean, it's one of those things that if you'd have knocked on somebody's door, they wouldn't have answered the door, you know, they'd have thought, oh, on earth are you? Certainly wouldn't have let you in. There's some unkept person at the door. Oh, look, I'm making a mess of these. Shall I see if I can squish them in? Shall I see? Do you think they will? Oh, dear me. It can only happen to us. Anyway, we got home, and I said to hubby, you're just going to have to sit in the car, because obviously we've only got one wheelchair. You're just going to have to sit in the car while I try and get this mud cleaned off, because then, of course, the wheelchair goes inside as well, and you don't want a great big wheelchair full of mud then wheeling across your living room carpet. So as we're drying up, the neighbours excuse me, the neighbour opposite is outside jet washing his car. So I just went across and hello, could you do us a favour? And he says, oh, do you want me to wash your car? I said, no, could you just hose the wheelchair down for us? And he did, and it was really, really clean. God, it hadn't been so clean in yonks. I mean, it was jet washed. It was done within an inch of its life, but heck, it really sparkled. And then it was just a case of drying it off really quickly. So, but yeah, it's a good job he was there, because it would have taken me ages to clean. I said to hubby, well, I can always go and get the commode out of the bathroom. Oh dear me, the things that we do, I tell you, are just, oh dear. Everything's just crazy in this house. I mean, the dogs thought it was absolutely marvellous, because dogs aren't bothered about being dirty and muddy paws everywhere. I mean, we'd given them a good wipe. We always come with lots of towels and things for the dogs and keep them well. But yeah, I never thought I'd be having to jet wash the wheelchair. We brought quite a few leaves home with us as well. They were stuck all over. Oh dear me. Ah dear. Anyway, we're cracking on with these. I hope you can see what I'm doing, because I don't know that I can. But yeah, I'll oh dear, put some photographs of the dogs, as I say, at the end. But oh dear me, we do have some laughs. It's a good job we can laugh. The trouble is as well, the car is quite high, and we've not quite got the right equipment getting hubby in and out the car. So when we get to the car, I have to sort of like half lift him and he has to half lift himself. But if we start laughing, then neither of us have got the pressure to be able to lift him. And honestly, we can be stood there just laughing our heads off. Well, I'm stood there trying to get him in the car, and we're just laughing our heads off. And I think people just look as if to say, what on earth are they doing? Nobody ever comes near us, so it must sound like a manic laugh. Oh dear. Mind you, I don't think hubby heard. It's probably a good job not, but the young girl that came to help us, actually, excuse me, I'm getting a frog in my throat. The young girl that came to help us said, oh, my granddad's in a wheelchair. I know what it's like. So I don't think, mind you, we are grandmas and granddads, but hubby doesn't like being referred to as a granddad. He says he's not old enough to be a granddad. Oh dear. So yeah, we've got Lottie for another week. Oh, she's gone to sleep now. If you hear any noises, it will be her snoring. Oh dear. Oh look, I just tipped that and completely missed the pot. How did I miss the pot from there? Oh dear me. Right, 28. Oops. I was going to say, I'm sure there's 35 colours. I'm looking at that one thinking that that's number 30. Oh dear me. Let's get these into here. So, oops. That's been our exploits this weekend. And as I say, the week today with the chap coming hasn't started off much better. But at least it's all out of the way now. So our next adventure is actually going to be looking for a new bed. I've got the bedroom sorted out now. We've emptied a chest of drawers and a tall boy. So they will be going to charity. I'm hoping the charity can come and pick those up. And because they're still, you know, in good condition. None of the family want them. So it's because they're pine fronted, so it's not really in fashion at the minute, is it, pine? Or it doesn't appear to be anyway. So, but you know, there's plenty of use in them for somebody to have. So well, we still have them, but we just need the room for the wheelchair to be able to get around the bedroom and everything. You know, you don't realise how closed in and how much furniture you have until suddenly every time you move, you know, in the wheelchair, things start getting in the way. So it's also been a really good clear out as well. Got rid of tons of stuff, and that's quite good. I mean, we've been getting rid of stuff for, well, at least, well, a year since, well, it'd be 2 years since hubby came out of hospital. We sort of started moving things around, and we decided that we don't want things in the loft anymore. We want to be able to know what we've got, and what's the point in keeping stuff just to be stuck in the loft. You know, it might as well go to somebody that can make use of it. So we've been having a real good clear out and only keeping stuff that we need. And if we've got like 20 of something, we probably only need 2. Apart from diamond paintings, of course. Diamond paintings, you can never have too many diamond paintings. But I have got rid of a heck of a lot of my craft stuff. Really pared it all back and had a really good clear out of that as well. I mean, some of the stuff that I got rid of, I've had for over 10 years. You know, you've got like paper craft and papers that you don't want to use because they're too nice, and you think, why have I kept that for 10 years? Why did I not use it? Yeah, because it's too nice to use, but what's the point of having it then just to sit and stroke it? Yeah, I mean, I did sort of like fall into that trap, and I'm possibly in that trap with my diamond paintings as well. Oh dear. Anyway, so this is the nearly last colour, second to last colour. Oh, I like this one, nice aqua colour, but a pale aqua. Got quite a few I've dropped here, but I started off with good intentions and I did pick up those couple of spillages, but I've changed my mind now. I've got spares hopefully of all these colours, so I should be okay. So I'm just going to put a few in this little pot, and what I'll probably do is work from the pot and then just keep filling it up as I need it. It's because it's got a really big white background, this one. And this is going to be fun to do actually. I think I'm going to pour some into the tray and then pour the tray into the pot. That's probably going to be the easiest thing to do. Put a few more. These pots hold about 14 to 1600 drills. Because if you remember when I bought one of my storage containers, I did measure them out using the little packets that I really don't like of the 200 gems. And just get that one out. It's got a bit staticky there, and that's just one spill. I will pick that one up. So we've got a few in there to get us started. So yeah, they do hold quite a bit, but that's a huge bag. How many did it say? 10,339 B5200 white squares. Right, let's just get the air out of that a bit. Squish it to the side there and flatten it down and make sure it's well and truly closed. I don't want those spilling everywhere. Goodness me, but I think there'll be quite a few left over as well. So we will put these into the top here, and I will put that little sticker in there so I know which one it is. And yep, that's that all done. So I'll put some case up. I will scooch up these little drills that I've managed to spill. Okay, and get rid of those. I think it's just about one of each colour. I'll get rid of these. These are very staticky. They're all jumping at me. You watch, I'll go to bed and there'll be a plastic bag stuck to me somewhere. And your hubby wouldn't be surprised. I think he's not surprised by much of anything that I do these days. I'm looking round for where I put the other bags, and I put them in here, didn't I? Oh dear, no. They're all in here. I'm just sat. Oh dear, that's Rosie and Charlie, the little dogs across the road, have just come back from daycare, so it must be about 4:30 in the afternoon. Yeah, so I'm sat here looking around thinking, what did I do with the other lot of the plastic bags from this? Oh Liz, they're in there. If you had a brain, you'd be dangerous. Hey dear. So that's the drills all kitted up. Now let's just have a quick look at this painting. Put my scissors away and put my tray back over there. And what I tend to use is these release sheets, these little cover sheets. You just buy them in packs. There's quite a few places actually sell them now, and they're just like a double-sided, a little bit waxy type paper, same as this, but just in smaller sheets, and I prefer to work on that. You can use these and just cut them up, but because this is in 3 pieces, I can't be doing with the 3 pieces, and I've not quite got that down properly, look. So I'm going to take this off. I tend to keep these and cut them into smaller pieces to use on other projects. Oh, and I've got a lot of them. And yeah, instead of keeping bits of paper to hug now, I keep these because I think that come in handy. Isn't that one of the worst sayings that's been invented? Well, I'll keep that because it might come in handy. I know what I am going to do though, because there's a massive border around this, and I might cut some of this off. Let's see if we can just cut some of this border off. Just grab my glass cutting mat. Don't want to go through my desk. Yeah, I'm a convert to glass cutting mats. I find that it doesn't blunt your blade as much as using one of the self-healing mats. I think I've lost one of the stoppers on this as well. So let's just put a piece of cover sheet back over here so that my ruler's not going to completely stick to it. That's not very straight, Liz, for goodness sake. It's all wonky. Don't want that. So let's just pop that there. I'm going to use this ruler do it this way and see if I can. No, I'm going to do it the other way. I'm trying not to get anything on this. I should have done this before I took the things completely off. But anyway, you learn from my mistakes, please. Show you how I do it so you know how not to do it. Okay, right, so just cut through, but don't cut through your canvas. And you should just then be able, if you can get your nail or your knife or your tweezers, just be able to get this. That's it, it's rolling now, look. I find it will just, because it is just literally sellotape. Let's stick it on both sides, just roll that off right to the end. And then that's one huge part of sticky gone. Okay, you can still use your masking tape. What am I saying? You can still use your washi tape if you like, but other than a little tiny bit there, which I'm just going to rub off and take off, there is no sticky there now. So do we have much sticky at the other side? Let me have a look. There's a massive edge on this side as well, so I'm going to have a go at this side. I might have to do this in 2 bits, but we'll see. Oh my gosh, I've got things moving on my shelf next to me now and I've not touched them. Put that knife down, I'll end up stabbing myself. Yes, that's an unusual red colour that you've got on your diamond painting there. Oh yeah, I really put myself into this one. Alright, do it this way, Liz, you're right-handed. What are you doing? Should have covered it over. Right, let's see if we can do it all the way down. I don't know whether I'll manage it, but we'll have a go. But I mean, you can use your washi tape, and sometimes it is easier just to use your washi tape. But this is just one way of doing it. And I tend to find as well that this is a good way of doing it, particularly when you've got your key code at one side, because you don't really want washi tape over your key code if you're using it then for your diamond painting. Okay. Because then you can't see it, you're covering over it. So it's just get that straight. Just cut through. Okay, so let's see if this will now come off. Yep, we'll get in there. We'll cut all the way through. Yep, that's coming. Yeah, you can pull it off, but I've found in the past that rolling it, because it sticks to itself, you tend to get more of it off all in one go. When you pull it, sometimes it splits and you end up with little bits left over, and I can't be doing with bits. You know me and flappy bits and bits. Okay, so I've gone round now and I've done, oops, all 4 edges. Well, I've done 3 edges, because actually that edge, it looks as though they completely lined that right up, so that must be how they put the tape on. Start really well lined up there and gone that way down on each 3 pieces. So that's all of the other 3 edges all done. So I've not got this sticky on. So now I'm just going to pop my cover sheets on, see how these fit. Oh gosh, I don't need that many, Liz. Blimey, Nick, it's not that big a painting. So we'll see how these fit. So I think we're going to get, and what I tend to do is do one of these at a time. So I'll lift one up and do all the diamonds underneath this one, and then I'll go on to the next one and the next one and work that way, and just do it a section at a time. And it also then stops me from seeing what the next section is. If I've got the clear covers, I can see the symbols, and I tend to think, oh, I'll just put that one there while I've got it in my tray, and I'll just put that one there, and that doesn't work for me. I tend to yeah, it just doesn't work for me. So oh, this is good. This is just gonna take 8 of these, so the 8 sections. If you find as well, I think I've said it before, if you find as well as you're working along and you get interrupted and you're just on this part and you've put some drills on but you're not going to be able to finish it, or you need to just come away from your painting, oops, trust me, the last piece, not putting it on straight. Then you can just use your cover minder. Just you've got your magnet on the back. Just have it, put your magnet on the back of your painting, and it'll just hold it down, even though there's drills on it. Sometimes, oh, what have I got stuck to me there? Oh, a little bit of blingy stuff. Yes, so just use your cover minders, and it'll just stick it down, or use two, because you'll find that these sometimes, particularly when you get in the near the end of a square or whatever you're working on, that it doesn't stick down as well. So it just helps stopping getting dust and everything on your project. Okay, so that's me now all kitted up. Just put tweezers back, put my knife away and my ruler, so just tidy up a bit as I go along, otherwise I never get anything done. Okay, put my cover sheets back away as well. Sadly, I will be keeping these and using them on another project, quite possibly. It's very, very dark now. Okay, so that's all kitted up. We've got all our drills all nicely bottled up and ready to go. So the other thing I'll be doing as well is cutting this flappy bit off, because I can't be doing with bits, you know what I say, can't be doing with bits flapping about on the end. Okay, well, I hope you've enjoyed this little chat and watching me kit up. If you have, a thumbs up would be much appreciated. And if you want to just watch to the end of the video, I'll put some little bits of Lottie and Millie having a bit of a play. And if you want to come back and see what I get up to next, and see possibly the kitting down and see how this painting turns out, if you press that subscribe button down here and the little bell next to it, you'll be notified when my next video comes out. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you all again soon. Bye for now.